This is a great ball head. It's made by a company called Slik, S-L-I-K. It is the SBH-550. They're not always the easiest thing to find. I'm going to talk about this. There's a couple of other ones that are not as robust. I'll mention those as well. And the reason that I'm sharing this is that, first of all, the ball head works in a way that I've never seen other ball heads work. So I'm going to try to explain that. But the second reason is that when I was interested in getting one of these, I had a hard time finding information about them. So hopefully if you're interested in this, then this brief video will give you a little bit more, or just leave a comment and I'll try to answer your questions. So hello, my name's Steve. I'm an amateur photographer. I enjoy using old, typically used equipment for lighting, old packs, old heads, old monoblocks, the kind of stuff that would have been used in a professional studio 20 or 30 years ago. But I also use a fair amount of tripods and tripod heads, including ball heads and pan and tilt type heads as well. And I really, really like this. I like it so much that I bought it, then I sold it, and then I bought it back again. The first one that I picked up was a new open box, and it was made for the Japanese market. These things are manufactured in Japan. Yeah, and while we're on it, I mean they're machined. It's anodized, hardened aluminum. It's manufactured to a really high tolerance. So even the knob is metal, and it's got some nice knurling on it. But I've owned a couple of their tripods as well, and the ones that I like are branded as the Professional. They're heavy aluminum tripods, and don't own one of those right now, but I've certainly gone through a few of them, and if it came up at the right price, I wouldn't hesitate to buy one again. So, what makes this kind of so unique is the fact that there's only one knob on this, and that controls everything. It controls the tension on the ball head, it controls the orientation of the ball head, and it also controls how you do the panning and tilting. And if I kind of jump forward to this, you can see there's a nice dropout that allows you to go from a portrait orientation, from a landscape orientation to portrait. And that dropout sits in a collar, and that collar rotates freely when you loosen it. So in this case, you can see that I've rotated the collar from its initial position here, and I've also tilted the ball head down. So those two movements can be done just by releasing the tension knob. And if you take a look at the markings on here, right now it's the pan says 90 degrees, and the markings are actually etched in, which is kind of nice, into the metal. But here I have kept the orientation of the ball head kind of pointing straight up. Let's see, similar to what you see here. On this picture, it's at 90. Here, the pan says 150. So I was able to keep the orientation of the ball head and the collar kind of in the same spot, but rotate the pan, the base, if you will. And what I'll say is, and the reason that I got rid of the tripod head, the first one that I had, is that it took me a while to learn how to use it, because when you release it, everything goes loose. But then I really grew to miss that and miss the speed with which I can orient my camera. And because it's made for medium format and can support, they say 22 pounds, I have never had a problem with this, even using a 300 2.8, old Canon L lens. It is just nice, and it's worth, in my opinion, learning how to use so that you can get it into very, very quick and very, very solid orientation. So I do add one aftermarket part, and that is an Arca clamp. So it's an Arca Swiss clamp. You can find these at Amazon or on eBay. or the large photo houses. So this just makes a quick release so I don't have to screw my camera on all of the time. And, um, they come up used from time to time. I saw one on eBay for about $50. They are around 200 new for the SBH-550. The 280 and the 320 are probably a little bit easier to find. So if you're interested and I've not answered, or you still have questions, just leave a comment. I will get back to you, and I hope this helps.